Alright, so here's take one at all my thoughts on God and how I went from being a devout Christian to being whatever I am now. Which I don't know what I am now, but I am sad about it. Anyway, so a little preface, which some of you know, because only 2 of you are going to watch this. So both of you know that I started from a chaotic place, from a chaotic household. We'll just leave it at that. We won't even get into it. And then I kind of used church to escape that, and it worked. It worked really well. And I was really good at being churchy because I'm exceptional at ignoring what I actually want to do. And ignoring how I really feel on the inside. But anyway, so I started going to church at like 16, but then I had a lot of problems that no matter how much I prayed, read my Bible, and yada yada yada, I couldn't seem to resolve. And I had a point of trying to solve the same problems the same way over and over again, by the same solution, which was reading my Bible and praying. So then probably maybe it was 2018, 2017, I started down this self-help rabbit hole. Like started trying different cleaning systems. Basically, what I was doing was I was like starting from the outside of what I thought could help me, and then realizing that I needed to peel back layers to get to what was actually the fucking problem. Because the problem wasn't the things. The problem was me. As I'm going through all these self-help books and trying one method after another method to try to solve my problems, I finally get down to books written about things like childhood trauma and stuff, and how it can impact your life. And one thing that I always noticed, this sucks, being Savior DE and then having all the Christian rules laid out and then not being able to meet them like everyone else. And really it was mostly just being a what a patriarchal society would deem as a woman, being good at that, not being good at that, and constantly being in an atmosphere where that was the most valued thing, was not good for my self-esteem. So that's what I was trying to fix. Is I was trying to make myself good enough to fit in the place that I had, that was to me the default place, but the place that I had put myself and the people that I had put myself around. So anyway, I read The Body Keeps the Score, and if you have not read that book, I urge you to read that book, but know that it will make you cry, and it's a really tough read, especially the first couple chapters. It would not be fair if I suggested that book to you and then didn't warn you. And I think it was mostly meant for clinicians to read, but it's also an easy, like, as far as like reading level or whatever, it's easy to read, so don't worry about the academic part. But anyway, Um, so I started reading The Body Keeps the Score. And in The Body Keeps the Score, at the end of the book, they talk about ways to heal different trauma. And one of the ways was yoga and meditation. Basically, using yoga to prepare your body for meditation, which is kind of what it's for. But a big part of getting anything out of your meditation is to be able to get into like a state, and a big part of that is becoming more aware and inside your body. Like, move the body, move the mind, basically. And then there was also this other method of trauma healing called internal family systems therapy. And in that, basically, without having to explain the whole thing, you go inside your mind, close your eyes. You can do it by yourself or with a therapist. You close your eyes and you go inside your mind, and you try to get into your body like you would if you were in yoga. And you talk to different parts of yourself. And basically, some parts protect other parts. And so I started doing that sort of therapy. But in the beginning, I realized, like, here's where it gets harder to talk about, because then I start thinking about my own real feelings and everything. I realized that if I was going to heal, it was going to require some level of observing myself without judging myself. Like, it's a requirement. You can't get to the broken pieces without observing, without judging, without allowing dark parts of you to show themselves, basically. And then I feel like Christianity is like suppress and fight the devil and the flesh. And everything that I'm reading is saying that you have to start with some level of self-examination without self-judgment to even start to move those pieces of your mind. And so I was kind of like at a crossroads where if I was going to be able to be unstuck, and I swear to God, I was the most stuck person I knew, miserable, unfulfilled in every way. I didn't do anything for me, and I didn't do anything for anybody else. I was just fucking stuck. So anyway, if I was going to get unstuck from where I was going to have to observe myself without judgment and accept myself, which is like the Christian message or something. To start from a place of commitment to love myself, not the Christian message. So in one of my meditations, one of the first ones, I was talking to God, which, by the way, is like a peace I can find. Whatever God is and whoever I was talking to is a peace I can find in my mind when I get into those states. And is always there. But anyway, so I was talking to God one of the first times I tried to do this, and basically telling him that it feels like a betrayal of him. And then who or whatever said, I'm God, so I'm pretty sure I can handle it. You should probably deal with this. And then I said, okay. And then I proceeded to try to examine, as a loving and accepting outsider, all the other parts of myself. So, I started to do that. And then that was the thing that brought the most change. Is what an EJ story, by the way. I hear it. I do hear it. Being able to face me. So then that's when all the healing started to happen. And the peace that is God, like I said, is still there. And all these new, forgotten parts of my personality that I loved and people around me also loved started re-emerging like almost instantly as I'm reframing trauma and moving things around. And I could feel for the first time in my adult life. Like I have learned so much about me, more about me in the past year and a little bit of change than I have in like 15 years before that. And made more progress by like leaps and bounds fast, all because of that one thing. So the problem is I'm sad. And I wish there was a God, and I wish there was somebody to pray to. And so, yeah, I was kind of stuck between healing and doing what God said I was supposed to do. So, anyway, sorry, I'm having trouble talking now that I'm getting down to the emotions of it. I miss God. And I've tried a lot of different ways to think of it. I'm not saying there is no God. I also wonder if God was just my intuition deciding to take itself seriously every so often. But yeah. Was it me that had all those great or not so great ideas? Maybe. If God is a part of me, like I said, that thing that I've been praying to, then I should still love it, right? That's the math. But then it's not the same if you don't think it's real. And one thing that I've been hanging on to, my little hope, the little hope that could, to solve all my existential dread and questions, is the possibility that kind of like consciousness and how your brain is just a bunch of programs your brain is just a bunch of programs paying off of one another and communicating with one another. Maybe God in the universe is somewhere like that too, which I know is not a concept that I invented, but what I'm hoping is that kind of like consciousness, where you can't deny the experience and the quality of it and how it's more than what it is in its scientific and technical sense. I hope God's the same thing. I hope that God is just the universe's consciousness and that there's something exists. Anyway, so that was kind of a bummer, right? I'm gonna make a part 2. I just decided right now about accepting a lot of the darkness that has come up. Most of what has come up has been positive. Some of it has been seemingly negative, but again, also, as long as you don't shove it down and ignore it, kind of manifests as positive. But anyway, thanks for watching my bummer video. Bye.